Hi everyone, it's Melissa and welcome back to another Friday Reads. I normally start with what I'm reading, what I've read, and then move on to like life updates, chit-chat type stuff. But we're going to start with the life chit-chat first because I've had quite the morning. So it's garbage day. I'm taking out the garbage. I'm on the front porch and I have like the garbage can and I'm like about to tie off the bag. And a couple of hornets come up from under the porch. And then like a couple more and I'm like, oh crap. We have a hornet nest probably under the porch. I don't know, I can't see it. Because we have like lattice or whatever like around the porch so you can't really see under it very well. But I'm thinking, oh crap, there's probably a nest under here. So I kind of like duck back inside real quick to wait until they leave so I can like finish tying off the garbage. I had like one little bag actually that I was going to add to it. So I'm inside and like the hornets are still around, they're still around. And this is a problem because my husband is allergic to bees and wasps. And he's back working like in the office and I'm working from home. So I'm like, okay, I text him and say, listen, I think we have a hornet nest under the porch. When you get home, come around the back. I'll unlock the basement door at the back of the house and come down that door so that you can avoid the hornets. I'm going to get like the final little bag that I was going to put in the garbage can before like I tied it off, into the big bag before I tied it off. I decide, well, I'll just go out I'll unlock the basement door and just come out that way so I don't have to like open and close the front door again and potentially further anger these hornets. I'll go out the back door, I'll come around, I'll like grab the can and I'll put the last bit in. So I unlock the basement door. I'm walking out and I see a couple of hornets on the ground and I don't think much of it because like it's summer and there's hornets around. But then I see, oh, there's actually quite a few hornets by this back door. So I kind of close the door and quickly move away from the basement door and turn around and see that there is a huge hornet nest right below the door, like of the wall right under the door, like a big one. And there's just hornets buzzing around. I don't know how I didn't get stung today, by the way. It was like miraculous. So there's basically no way for my husband to get into the house. So anyway, it's been a morning. I've called the pest guy. He's coming at some point this afternoon, but he says it takes like a couple days. Like some hornets will still be around for a couple days. So I might have to like pack a bag. And when my husband gets home, just like bring it out to the car so he doesn't have to come in the house and he can stay at his parents' house for the night. And then we were supposed to go camping this weekend anyway. So then maybe we can just still go camping and by the time we come back, they'll be gone? I don't know. Anyway, so that's been my morning. On to the books. So first of all, I have a little mini haul. The first one is The Year of the Flood by Margaret Atwood. I was on vacation last week and as most bookish people do when we're on vacation, we have to hit up like the local independent bookshop. So I went to a secondhand store and I found this. So The Year of the Flood is the second in the Mad Adam trilogy. And I have the first called Oryx and Crake, which I really enjoyed. And one of my goals this year is to like continue series that I've started and finish series that I'm partway through. So I thought, perfect, I'll get the second in the series. So that's the first thing I bought. And then I had a pre-order come in, Bargain Bin Rom-Com by Leena Norms. I don't often pre-order books, but when it's someone who's like on BookTube or on AuthorTube or like whose content I watch, I feel more compelled to pre-order to like help them out. So this is her poetry collection and I really enjoyed it. I already read it and it's like full of some heavy topics. Like there's stuff in here about like, you know, the destruction of our planet and like climate crisis and that kind of stuff. But with a lot of like humor and like fun bits thrown in. So it's not like a sad collection or anything. And yeah, I thought it was lovely and I really enjoyed it and would recommend it to people who might be intimidated by poetry because she has purposefully made it very accessible to people who are just getting into poetry or who haven't really read poetry before. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. So on to books I finished. Other books I finished besides the poetry collection. I've also finished this, Monsters She Wrote, The Women Who Pioneered Horror and Speculative Fiction by Lisa Kroger and Melanie R. Anderson. I'll talk about this more in my, like, wrap-up, but I've been reading this since October. I think it lends itself well to picking through it. For me, it didn't, I wouldn't have wanted to read it kind of, like, straight through. But yeah, it just goes through chronologically different women in horror and speculative fiction and kind of like what they contributed to it, and it goes through all the different kind of like eras. So we start with like the founding mothers, and then it goes through to like ghost stories and haunted tales, and then on to like the occult and so on, kind of like through the development of these different subgenres. And yeah, I really enjoyed this as well. And it gave me a good kind of like foundation of women in speculative and horror, and has unfortunately kind of blown up my TBR, but that's all right. What else? I've been reading lots of Jane Austen for Jane Austen July. So in the last week, I have finished Lady Susan, which I thought was okay. I didn't dislike it, but like I didn't really think it was anything great. It's like it's longer than a short story, like a short novella about Lady Susan, who's a bit of a villain. She's like really manipulative. And I think she was fun as a character. And I think basically what I wanted was like more. I wanted more book. I wasn't totally a fan of the epistolary style for that particular story, because I think it would have been more fun to kind of like see, if you will, the interactions between Lady Susan and some of the other characters. Because I think Jane Austen does dialogue really well, and so I would have liked to like see kind of like more real-time stuff and not like it told through letters. So yeah, it was okay, but like it's not going to be a favorite or anything. I also had a DNF. I DNF'd Ivanhoe by Sir Walter Scott. I DNF'd this so quickly, I didn't even get a chance to add it to Goodreads or the Storygraph. I think I read 1, maybe 2 pages. And I'm not going to say anything negative about the book. It's just when I started reading it, I realized I'm not in the mood for this right now at all. I'm not in the mood for this type of writing style. I'm not in the mood for this type of story. And so I just DNF'd it. And like maybe in future I'll like give it another shot. But yeah, that was for the prompt of reading a contemporary of Austen's. And I don't think I'm going to finish that prompt this year because there's no one else really speaking to me right now, and I'd rather like focus on Jane Austen and like retellings and watching Jane Austen adaptations and stuff. So what else? I made notes because I'm reading so much right now. So what I am in the middle of reading right now, I am reading Northanger Abbey. I'm a little over halfway through, really enjoying this. I'm not totally into the protagonist yet. I'm hoping we'll be given a little bit more, but I'm loving like a lot of the humor in this, and I'm loving the kind of like secondary characters in this book. So that's going well so far. And I am also about half, probably a little half of the way through Persuasion, which is something that wasn't on my Jane Austen July TBR, but I finished my reread of Pride and Prejudice via audio, and I didn't have another audiobook lined up. And Persuasion was on Audible, like, as a free, like, I didn't have to use a credit, so I thought, well, sure, I'll listen to Persuasion. So, Persuasion I am loving so far. I'm really enjoying the main character of Anne Elliot. I like that she's an older character, like, older by the standards of the time. Like, she's not 20 years old, she's, like, 27 or 28, and I love, like, the different perspective of a love story, of kind of, like, second chance romance, like experiences like a little bit later in life. Again, relatively speaking, she is in her 20s, but you know. So yeah, I think I'm really going to end up liking that one, but I'm only halfway through that. And coming up, I will be starting The Time Traveler's Guide to Regency, written by Ian Mortimer. Well, I've already read the introduction, so I've technically started this, but I want to start it in earnest, like get to the meat of the content and the information in here. Probably not this weekend because we'll be camping and I don't want to haul a big old book. Also, it's a library book. So that's everything I've read and have been reading. I've been watching some stuff. I watched Bride and Prejudice, which is a 2004 Pride and Prejudice like modern adaptation. It's a Bollywood movie, my first Bollywood movie, and it stars Aishwarya Rai as the Lizzie Bennet type character. Her name is Lolita. And overall, like, it was fine. It was fine. It's not like my typical type of movie. I liked her as like the Lizzie Bennet type character. I think her, like, how she acted that character really worked. I also loved the Mrs. Bennet. I'm sorry, I can't remember the actual family's last name in the movie, but the Mrs. Bennet type character, I liked that actor as well. I also thought, like, what part of the tension between Darcy and Lolita was really smart in that it was kind of about, not cultural misunderstanding, but Darcy says some things about India that are like borderline ignorant or very like stereotypical, or like he's like a hotel like tycoon and he doesn't want to build a hotel there because like, oh, this is like the small like podunk town and like what's there to do kind of thing, where she thinks this is a wonderful place, like rich in culture, and you only want to show people like the touristy parts of India. And I liked that element of the clash between them. What I didn't like so much about the movie is I thought the actor playing Darcy had zero charisma. Like, yes, Darcy is supposed to be like kind of solemn and serious, but he has a certain charm to him, and he didn't have that, and he had no chemistry with Lolita. Anyway, I didn't buy the Darcy character, and I don't think the actor did a very good job. I don't know. I'm sure he tried his best, but I don't think that combo worked. I've also watched a couple of episodes of the Emma modern like web series adaptation, which I think came out in like 2013 or something, called Emma Approved, which I'm actually enjoying. I think it's really cute. The Emma character in this is like a lifestyle guru kind of person. She wants to be like the next Oprah and like have this like empire, like lifestyle empire, and she is like has this like, I don't know if you call it like a matchmaking service, but she's matched a couple people and they're getting married, but then one of them gets cold feet, but she doesn't want her to skip out on the wedding because like it'd be bad for Emma's business, and like they have to, like, it's their destiny, like they have to be in love. And I think the actor playing Emma like really gets Emma as a character. So that's been a lot of fun. And I think that's it. This is probably a long Friday read, so we're going to cut it off here. And thank you, as always, so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you've been reading this week, and we'll chat soon. Take care. Bye.